Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning embarked on its Indian box office journey with considerable anticipation. The Tom Cruise-led action spectacle managed to make a significant impact in its initial run. As of its 16th day in cinemas, June 2, 2025, the film successfully crossed the notable 90 crore rupees mark in India. This figure indicates a strong reception among Indian audiences for the latest installment of the long-running franchise. The early numbers suggested a promising trajectory, building on the established fan base the series enjoys in the subcontinent. The initial buzz and positive word-of-mouth appeared to translate into healthy ticket sales across various regions, setting a solid foundation. The first week of its release was particularly robust for The Final Reckoning in the Indian market. The film garnered an impressive 54.4 crore rupees during this initial 7-day period. This strong opening week was a testament to the star power of Tom Cruise and the enduring appeal of the Mission Impossible brand. Audiences flocked to theaters to witness the high-octane stunts and intricate plot lines that have become synonymous with the series. This performance placed it among the significant Hollywood openers in India for the year, signaling a healthy appetite for well-produced international action films. The collections during this phase were buoyed by widescreen distribution and premium viewing formats. However, the film experienced a noticeable deceleration in its second week at the Indian box office. Collections during this period amounted to 26.75 crore rupees. This represented a sharp dip when compared to the impressive earnings of its inaugural week. Such a drop, while not entirely uncommon for blockbuster releases after an initial surge, does raise questions about the film's long-term legs in the market. Competitive releases, both domestic and international, could have contributed to this slowdown. The sustainability of its run would depend on its ability to attract repeat viewership and appeal to a broader audience beyond the core fanbase in the subsequent weeks. Entering its third weekend, The Final Reckoning showed signs of stabilization, albeit at lower collection levels. On Friday, the film collected 1.9 crore rupees. Saturday saw an uptick with 3.65 crore rupees, and Sunday continued this trend with 3.75 crore rupees, net across all languages. This weekend performance culminated in a cumulative Indian box office collection estimated at 90.45 crore rupees after 16 days, according to early estimates from sackmilk.com. While the film continues to add to its tally, the pace has clearly moderated, indicating a challenging path to reach higher financial milestones within the Indian theatrical window. The performance reflects a front-loaded run, common for major franchise entries. On the global stage, Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning has also been making its presence felt, though the overall picture is complex. As of June 2, 2025, the film's worldwide box office total stands at approximately $353.8 million. This figure encompasses earnings from numerous territories, highlighting the global appeal that Tom Cruise and the Mission Impossible franchise command. The international market performance is crucial for a film of this scale, often contributing a significant portion of the total revenue. The film's rollout across different countries has been staggered, with various markets opening at different times, influencing the cumulative global take reported thus far. In the United States, a key market for any Hollywood blockbuster, The Final Reckoning demonstrated continued drawing power, albeit facing a competitive summer landscape. Over the recent weekend, the film added an estimated $27.3 million to its domestic tally. These earnings came from 3,861 locations across the country. This indicates that the film is still attracting audiences in North America, though the weekend figures will be closely watched to determine its staying power against other summer releases. The US market's performance is a critical component of the film's overall financial success, and its trajectory here will significantly impact its final global gross. International markets outside of North America have played a substantial role in the film's earnings. These territories contributed a significant $76.1 million over the recent weekend alone. This demonstrates the franchise's strong brand recognition and Tom Cruise's international stardom. Different regions will exhibit varying levels of enthusiasm influenced by local preferences, marketing efforts, and the competitive film slate in each specific country. The collective performance in these diverse markets underscores the global nature of modern blockbuster filmmaking, where international receipts are often paramount to a film's profitability and overall success story. A noteworthy component of the international performance was the film's debut in China. The Chinese market contributed $25.2 million to the international weekend earnings. While this figure is substantial, its context within the evolving Chinese box office landscape for Hollywood films is important. Performance in China can be highly variable, and this opening number provides an initial glimpse into how the final reckoning is being received in this major film territory. The film's ability to sustain collections in China over the coming weeks will be a key factor in its overall international box office performance and its journey towards profitability, given its large production costs. The financial narrative surrounding Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning is significantly shaped by its colossal production budget. The film reportedly cost a staggering $400 million to produce. This figure places it among the most expensive films ever made, setting an incredibly high bar for commercial success. Such a substantial investment reflects the ambitious scale of the production, including its elaborate action sequences, global shooting locations, and the star power involved. However, this massive budget also means that the film needs to generate extraordinary box office revenues worldwide merely to break even, before even considering marketing and distribution costs, which can add substantially more. The implications of this $400 million budget are far-reaching. For the studio, recouping such a massive outlay requires not just a strong opening, but sustained performance across multiple markets over several weeks. The traditional benchmark for profitability is often cited as 2 to 3 times the production budget, meaning The Final Reckoning might need to gross between $800 million and $1.2 billion globally to be considered a clear financial success. This puts immense pressure on its theatrical run, as every market and every weekend's performance is scrutinized against this formidable financial target. The film's success cannot be judged by raw grosses alone without considering this significant upfront cost. Currently, profitability remains a significant concern for The Final Reckoning, despite its global earnings reaching approximately $353.8 million. This figure is still considerably short of its reported $400 million production budget. While the film is said to be tracking in line with the previous 2 installments of the franchise in some respects, those films likely had different budgetary considerations. The sheer size of the investment in The Final Reckoning changes the calculus of success. The journey to recouping production costs, let alone entering profitable territory, appears to be a challenging one based on the current global box office numbers. This financial pressure underscores the importance of the film's extended theatrical window and its subsequent performance in ancillary markets. Revenue streams from home entertainment, digital sales, streaming rights, and television licensing will eventually contribute to the film's overall financial picture. However, a strong theatrical run is typically the foundation for success in these later windows. The film needs to maximize its box office earnings in the coming weeks to mitigate the risk associated with its high production expenditure, and to pave the way for a more favorable financial outcome in the long term. The industry will be watching closely to see if it can defy the odds. When comparing Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning to its predecessors, particularly in specific markets like India, the picture is still developing. For instance, it remains uncertain whether this latest installment can surpass the total Indian box office earnings of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. The previous film, referred to as last year's release in some reports, accumulated 110.3 crore rupees over a 9-week run in India. With The Final Reckoning currently at 90.45 crore rupees after 16 days, it has a significant gap to close, and its slowing momentum suggests this will be a challenging feat. Each film in the franchise builds upon the last but also faces evolving market dynamics. Globally, the film is reportedly tracking in line with the previous 2 installments. However, this comparison needs to be viewed through the lens of The Final Reckoning's substantially larger $400 million budget. While grosses might be similar at certain points in their release, the profitability threshold is much higher for the current film. Previous entries in the series, such as Fallout and Rogue Nation, were also major successes, but they were produced with comparatively lower budgets, making their paths to profit less arduous. Therefore, simply matching past grosses might not be enough for the final reckoning to be deemed an equivalent financial success. The path ahead for the final reckoning to achieve significant profitability is fraught with challenges. The summer movie season is often crowded, with new blockbusters vying for audience attention and screen space each week. Sustaining audience interest beyond the initial fan base, especially in the face of fresh competition, will be crucial. Furthermore, factors such as audience fatigue with long-running franchises, although Mission Impossible has often defied this, and shifting consumer preferences towards streaming could also influence its ultimate theatrical haul. The film needs strong word of mouth and minimal drop-offs in weekly earnings to navigate this competitive landscape successfully. In conclusion, while Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning has posted respectable box office numbers, particularly with its strong opening in India and consistent international contributions, its massive production budget casts a long shadow over its financial narrative. The film has delivered the action and spectacle audiences expect from the franchise. However, its journey to recouping its $400 million investment and achieving clear profitability is still very much in progress. The coming weeks will be critical in determining its final standing, not just as a cinematic event but as a financially viable chapter in the enduring Mission Impossible saga. Its ability to maintain momentum will dictate its ultimate success.